Why is this girl best girl? Join me and find out.
That man and his merch.
Hello and welcome to That Man. That is me merchandise, and today we're going to look at Uzaki-Chan Wants to Hang Out and why is she the best girl of 2019? Well, she's just so incredibly fun. Sorry Komi, you're no longer best girl. We've got a new girl in town. Uzaki-Chan Wants to Hang Out is a new series brought to us by 7Seas under their, well, it's under their normal series. So this is going to be another series kind of like Monster Musume where it's not quite ecchi enough to be Ghost Ship or anything like that. In fact, it's an ecchi comedy series with a really, really big heart and really, really big, 3D-ness. This book is slightly 3D. So you've clicked on here wondering why Uzaki-Chan is best girl for 2019, and well, many reasons. Many reasons. And the first reason is that she is so incredibly down to earth. We see so many series, especially romance series, where the characters are just like portrayed in a certain way that they're trying to be best girl. Whereas in this series she really doesn't try, to the point that in fact she's just one of those cute blob characters who just appears and they're just like, yeah, but then they somehow end up being absolutely hilarious. And when I say yeah, she's one of those ones where she will harass you, kind of like Umaru-chan or Megumin, where they're just kind of like, they kind of could be a little bit annoying, but they're really, really great anyway. Uzaki-Chan tells the story of a young boy who kind of doesn't really have anything to do on a night. So Uzaki-Chan, his understudy, or well, his, I say underling, his friend from another class, another year, the year below him, in university, the adults, and she just comes around to hang out. And her logic is that, well, you always seem that you're alone, you always seem that you don't have any friends, you don't seem to have anything to do, so I'm going to come out, hang out with you. And that's what I loved about the series. It's one of those series where she's very much making the moves. It reminds me of Teasing Master Takagi-san, in which the main character, the main girl, was always teasing the main character, whereas this one, it very much feels like she's just wanting to genuinely hang out with him. With this being a slice of life series, there is a lot of things that make it a little bit more relatable than other series would. For example, in this series, the main character has a job, and it's not like one of these, oh, it's my summer job. It's just like, yeah, this is my part-time job. I need to work this job to get through uni. Whereas she'll just come and just be like, yeah, I live with my parents. We've got quite a bit of money. I'm just going to come hang out and make sure that you can get through this work day by yourself. Even though he's not by himself. And I actually love the characters around because it's very much hinted that this is going to be a romance series. And he's just like, no, go away. And the boss is just like, hey, you want a joke? You want a joke? Watch these two. Just watch these two for a few minutes. And I absolutely loved that aspect of it. She was so kind of over the top ridiculous that everybody else is just kind of like, look at these awkward lovebirds in love. And that's what makes this series so fun. It's very much awkward love, that kind of awkward love that everybody has been through at some point. And again, that's another reason why this series is so relatable. Uzaki-Chan is a great, fantastic character, and honestly, she's so over the top ridiculous. She's one of those ones where she'll pop up, she'll torture you for a bit, but you will genuinely have fun with her. And she does like down to earth stuff. She's kind of a tomboy character, so that's another reason why she's best girl. Obviously she's going to hang out, she's going to be playing video games, they're going to be playing, they're going to be watching movies, they're going to just be hanging out in general. And it's one of those things where it's like all these cute little date kind of aspects that you kind of go on anyway, but it's very much kind of over the top ridiculous, and yes, it is ecchi. Now, one of the things about this series is that it very much is a boob series, and that's completely fine. It is an ecchi series, it doesn't portray itself as anything else. However, the ecchi isn't too over the top. The weird, awkward circumstances all kind of fit in with what's going on. And to be honest, there was quite a few times I actually genuinely laughed at the etchiness. For example, when they're playing video games, they play VR, and they're just kind of having a normal time, and he puts the VR goggles on, and the woman's just like, stand back, and she doesn't stand back, she's like, come here senpai, and you're just grabbing boob, and he's just like, yeah, this feels very realistic, and it's very much none of this, I'm gonna beat you up kind of thing. She's just kind of like, oh, he's getting to first base on me, and it's just like, is this true love? And I love that aspect, rather than the whole, you grow up with me, I'm going to beat you up, and just kind of that kind of weird awkwardness in it, which, let's face it, is really outdated these days. It's kind of fun. We know these two have a thing for each other, and it's none of this yeah that we're so used to in anime, which it just feels so fresh, it just feels so different. And this is what I loved about the series, and that it's kind of like, she feels very much down to earth, they have a thing for each other. So the kind of etchiness, the awkward etchiness, which it's not over the top, it's not like every single chapter, it's like every other chapter, it's kind of just like there. Another thing that kind of happens in the series is that the main characters' hairstyles change a little bit, just because they just couldn't draw the hairstyle as it used to be. And Uzaki-Chan's boobs do get bigger and bigger, very slightly each chapter. And the author, she just turned around and said, well, that's fine, I just like big boobs. So yeah, if you're a boob lover, you will like Uzaki-Chan. I'm not gonna lie, I say she's the best girl of 2019. At least one of them. And it's one of those series that once she gets an anime, it's really, really going to pick up. She's definitely going to get an android. She's definitely going to get a lot of awkward figures. She's pretty much the supersonic kind of character of this year. Everything's about her has been kind of designed just to make it look so adorable, so cute. Look at that. She's got a snaggletooth. She's got a snaggletooth. And yeah, it's a snaggletooth. We can't, yeah, it's not even snaggletooth, it's snaggle skin. She's very much like that girl from Laid Back Camp, and the fact that she's got snaggle skin. Is that the new trend? Snaggle skin? But Uzaki-Chan Wants to Hang Out is such a fun series, it's such an adorable series. I absolutely can't wait for more, and I think it's going to be a little bit of a wait, because it's 7 seasons, they've kind of done it a little bit earlier than expected. There's plenty of little short stories in here. 13 of them, so you know you're going to get enough money bang for your buck. There's lots of fun, and it's more modern. They go Pokemon Go, they go out and play Pokemon Go, they go out and hang out and do realistic things. And so, why is Uzaki-Chan the best girl of 2019? Snaggle skin, realistic, big boobs if you're into that kind of thing. She's a tomboy, she wants to hang out and do stuff with you, and she's just such a fun character. But that, even at the very end, the very last page, she's taking the mick out of you. She's like, you thought there's going to be some kind of weird, perverse drawn on the back of here. But there is. She's kind of a goofball. She's absolutely lovable. She's one of those characters you just want to hang out with. That's why Uzaki-Chan Wants to Hang Out is such a great series. They've made a character that you want to hang out with. And that is just magical. Absolutely magical. That's it from me. Thank you for coming. If you did enjoy this, please leave a like, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.